Grace, I don't see your screen. There we go. Okay, so you guys should be able to see the screen. Phoebe, are you ready to start us off? All right, here we go with our pledges.
Yeah, which one do you want me to do first?
We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. That's what I'm doing.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
all right. I think Phoebe's having some internet connection issues. We're going to move right into our 4-H pledge. So if you guys all follow along, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. All right. Thank you all for participating in that. Great job. I'm going to turn it over to Grace to get things started for us.
Okay, everyone, I'm so excited that you're all here today. So today we're going to be talking about what a mini 4-H poster looks like. And so for a lot of the projects, you can make a poster, and that's not the only thing that you can do. But at the 4-H office, at the extension office, we have all of the supplies that you need. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a poster that is a foam core board, and it's going to look like this. And then when you are going to want to cover it with a clear plastic. And so the poster can be as creative as you want it to be. We love to see all of the ideas that you guys have. And so here's an example of one poster that is a bug poster. And see, someone drew a picture and they put on here bugs and drew this. And then an important thing that you get is you get a fair entry tag that looks like this. And this year, all the fair entry tags will be emailed to you, and you will print that off. And then you'll put that on your poster yourself. And then that is what will be displayed at the showcase. Yep. And so do you guys have any questions about posters?
I'm going to add two things to what Grace said. First, I do want to point out, she said, we want you to be creative. Absolutely. Some of the poster ideas and guidelines are going to be in your mini 4-H handbooks and your manuals. So those are available on our website. You can download them for free. If you need a hard copy printed, we also have hard copies here in the office. And because they're minis, they're pretty easy that if you are not comfortable coming into the office to get one, we are happy to mail one to you for those ideas. The poster board's not as easy to mail, but we do have that available here in the office. It is a regular foam core board size cut in half. So that is what our posters look like. And as Grace also pointed out, the posters are one exhibit option. They're not the only exhibit option. We are going to be sending a lot more details to our minis and regular 4-H's about fair entry. That is going to be open at the end of this week. So that fair entry tag that Grace pointed out, we're going to be getting you guys a lot more info by the end of this week about what that's going to look like. Okay. Awesome. And I do see our speaker is on. Doug, are you ready for some lively kids?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Grace, would you like to do the introduction?
Yeah. So everyone, this is Doug Sisks, and he is an Area 31 teacher. And today he is going to be showing you some construction equipment and whatever else he has planned. So we're going to hand it over to Doug now.
Well, good morning. And please stop me if you have any questions or if you just want to talk about something we're doing. Over my shoulder, what I'm trying to do is give you an idea of where we're going to go today. we're going to talk about construction, but we're going to talk about it from a very basic standpoint, actually from the birth of the lumber that goes into the project. What we're going to do is show you, as you can see over my shoulder, there's a tree. And I have some help with me. My partner is Mr. O'Neill, and he and I both teach a construction class in high school. And I've been teaching for a long time, and Mr. O'Neill is actually one of my students who gone out and become very successful in his own right, and then turned into a construction teacher when I asked him to. So we're going to share some equipment that we have that we think you might enjoy looking at and watching. And then we're going to perform a couple of tasks with those things so that you can get an idea of how they work. Again, I basically started with the tree behind me. That's where all your lumber comes from whenever you're building a home. And so out of that tree, we have to refine it down to something usable. Obviously, you didn't build your house in a tree or out of a tree that has limbs coming out of it. So that tree has to be harvested. It has to come down and be cut down. And then we're going to show you a portable sawmill. That's a saw probably bigger than any saw you've ever seen. And we're gonna watch it cut a log into the shape of lumber. All right, and you're gonna see how that works. So I think we'll start with our skid loader. I'm gonna try to turn my camera around here if I can make this happen. Oh yeah, I did, good. All right, now I can see what's going on. All right, well you can see our sawmill there, but first Mr. O'Neill is going to start up our skid loader. This is a Kubota skid loader, and you'll notice that on the front it has a set of forks, and Mr. O'Neill in those forks has a log. Now that log actually was an old telephone pole that we're gonna repurpose. And so he's gonna place the log very gently into the portable sawmill. That sound you hear is called a backup beeper. That's for safety. And whenever it's backing up, it tells people who happen to be standing behind it that they need to probably get out of the way, okay? Now we're gonna let Mr. O'Neill take some time to get out here. Let him introduce himself, and then he's gonna tell you a little bit about the sawmill he's about to use.
Hi guys, welcome. So what we're going to do today is we're taking a telephone pole that was originally made out of a tree, like Mr. Sisks showed you a minute ago. We're repurposing this telephone pole, and we're going to cut a 6x6 out of this using this sawmill. So what we're going to do, I'm going to load this log up onto the sawmill, and you're going to see how I get it set up and get it ready. How this sawmill works is it'll lock that log into place, and then we'll fire this machine up, and in this machine has a really, really cool but really, really sharp blade. It's really large, and it turns in a circular motion, and those really sharp teeth right there will cut that log into the lumber that we need. So now we'll set this up and we'll see if we can't get you guys a log cut.
Okay, our sawmill came from a company called Wood Miser. Wood Miser is located here in Indiana, and all of the parts that are made in this Wood Miser are actually made at the Wood Miser factory. It's up on 10th Street in Indianapolis. So now we're going to load the log onto the bed, and this is where we're going to cut it. And you can see he's down there now with the saw. That thing you see at the end down there is the saw. And now he's loading the log and trying to line it up and lock it in. See, he moved it over and pushed it against the sides. Now he'll adjust the height and set his height for where he wants to go with the cut. And then you'll probably hear it get really loud, and I'll probably stop talking when it gets really loud. And he'll make his first cut across the top. He's lining everything up now, squaring everything up. Here we go. going to make the cut. We're going to back up to be safe in case that blade would happen to break, which doesn't happen very often. Now it's traveling by itself down the log and cutting the top half off, or the top portion. There's a bottle of water up on top, and that water bottle is feeding the saw blade and keeping it wet the whole time that saw cuts. Maybe you can see it in there. See the water spraying onto the blade, and it's keeping that blade from getting dull. Now he's going to kick that top of that off, the portion he just cut off, and you'll notice that he made a nice flat cut right up there on top. And now he's going to rotate the blade, checking his height again. He's going to make another cut. Here we fire back up. Coming through. Now, what you're seeing over here on the left, right here, that's called a debarker. If this had been a tree, that machine would have rolled that around and knocked all the bark off before it cut it. So now we've got what's the beginning of about a 2-inch board there.
All right, guys, now what we're going to do is, now we have it sawed out, we got a good flat spot on this, is I'm going to take this log and I'm going to roll it over, and I'm going to cut the other side. We've already just established one of our flat sides, now we just got to do the other 3 sides.
So he's going to kick it loose where we've got it clamped in. He's got a set of controls down on the other end. I'll show you those here in a minute. Now he's got, see, it automatically moves the arm up, presses it against the side so that it's nice and flat. He's got the flat side over here. Picking it up again. Not cooperating very well. There he goes. Now we've got the flat side on the bottom. It's going to move it back into clamp place. Now he's got it clamped in position. You fire it back up, get his height adjusted so that he can make a single cut again. And when we look from the other end, you'll see what he's looking at. He's looking right here at where that top is. What's nice about a portable sawmill is that you can actually pull this behind your vehicle, take it straight out into the woods, and cut your lumber right in the woods where the tree is fallen. You don't have to take it to a sawmill somewhere. Now we've got 2 flat surfaces.
Flat side. Now we got 2 flat sides here. We're going to turn this log up, and we're going to make the top flat side on there, and then that gives our 3 sides, and we'll flip it over and do the last side.
Remember, what we're trying to end up with is a post that's going to be flat on 4 sides and 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. We rotated it up here. Got our 2 flat surfaces against the stops. He's going to line up for his 3rd cut. then keep in mind that this is actually a profession. There are people who make their living doing this. They come and purchase a portable sawmill and then farm themselves out to people who need lumber like this and create their lumber and sell them the lumber right out of the forest. Sometimes it's their own lumber, and sometimes it's some that they bought from somebody. We're going to kick it around to that fore side now. There we go. As you can see from the end, we're starting to take shape now. We've got 3 flat sides. We've really changed the appearance of this particular log. And again, this used to be a telephone pole. It used to be alongside the road, serving a completely different purpose. And now we've taken a section of that pole and we're making it into a fence post that people like me would use for building fence to keep cattle or horses or something like that in. Some of you may have fence on your property. So we're lined up and going in on that 4th cut. And there you go. The portable sawmill has done its job. I know a lot of folks have been out of work during this pandemic, and they've asked people not to go to work, but construction people have all been staying after it and staying busy. It's not something we can just walk away from our project. So there you go. There's your 6x6.
We took a telephone pole and turned it into a 6x6, and you can use it on fencing, landscaping. Lots of cool projects you can make just from having one of these sawmills, making your own lumber.
Okay, guys. Now we kind of skipped over the skid loader when we first introduced it to you because we were just using it to put it on there. But this is really a neat piece of equipment that I'd like. As you can see, it's got all the comforts of home inside and a nice soft seat. It looks like a couple of joysticks. It looks like you're playing a video game inside here. And I'll be honest with you, that's kind of what it feels like. One of those joysticks controls your forward, backward, left, and right, and the other one controls the operating the front. Now, what you have on the front right now are a set of forks that we picked that log up with, but this actually comes off real easy, pops right off there, and there is a bucket that goes on here. We actually have a rototiller that goes on there, all kinds of attachments that you can get for this, and they're all hydraulic. That means they run off of an oil pump inside. We actually have air conditioning and heat in here. The cab closes, this door up here closes, so there's no dust or anything. You don't have to sit there and breathe the dust. And it's very safe. The 2 arms that you see here and here, those 2 arms come across, and then there's a seat belt that holds you in, because sometimes this thing likes to buck like a Bronco, and keeps you in the seat and keeps you from hitting your head up here on the top. But it's a really cool piece of equipment and something that that we all enjoy. Now, I'll tell you something unique about this. This is a trainer. This is not like anyone you see out on the job site somewhere. This was actually built for us because, like I said earlier, we teach, and there's a remote control that goes with this that we can carry with us, and we can put a student in that seat and he can operate it. And if he starts to get in trouble or has a problem, we can just shut the hydraulics down and stop the piece of equipment, have a conversation with them about what they're doing wrong, and very safely step back out of the way, give them control back, and let them operate that piece of machinery from that point on. We've trained quite a few students on this. They get onto it really fast. I think because they're so good at video games, and this is so similar to operating a video game, that they came pre-trained, as we like to say. This can lift quite a bit. It weighs almost 14,000 pounds all by itself. So it's very, very heavy. And instead of wheels, it actually has tracks. And those tracks help keep it up off the ground, keep it on top of the ground and not digging in. Wheels are kind of rough on your body when you're riding in there. Excuse me. Tracks smooth it out and give you a lot better traction. So from our perspective, that's about all we got for you today. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer your questions.
I know we did have one question, and I'm going to go ahead and unmute them so that they can ask that.
Okay.
It's really noisy at first, but why is it so quiet while it cuts? Is it quiet there?
Yeah, it's we're out in the country. We're not in town. We're way out in the country, and there's nothing hardly around us here. About the only thing you ever hear here are cows, but and so that's why it's so quiet here. But yeah, you're right. It gets real noisy when it fires up, but then it just kind of calms down once it gets rolling. So the startup noise is really loud, but then it gets real quiet. And I'll tell you what helps make that blade quiet is the water that's spraying on it. There's no resistance when that blade goes through that wood. That's a really good question. Thank you.
Aren't trees good for the land? Like they soak up, they take in CO2, and and you took something old and turned it new again. I see how good that is. But I see how it's bad in the olden days when they took trees that soaked up all the water, so it was dry like it is right now where you are. Unless if there's no less trees, then it's completely flooded. And
Yeah.
plus there's less oxygen.
You're absolutely right. For everything that we harvest, we have to replace them with something else, okay? And that's why good forestry management is for every tree you take out, you're going to plant like a lot more. You're going to plant 10 or 12 for every one you take out. And you can't over harvest, just like anything else that you plant. If you deforest or tear it all down, you're absolutely right. The soil will all wash away. You've diminished the amount of oxygen being provided by those trees. Even the shade that provides cool spots for animals to live and that kind of stuff. So it is very, very important that we take advantage of the fact that, we can reforest instead of deforest, okay? But you're absolutely right. That's what has to happen. It has to have good forest management.
Do we have any other questions? No? Can we give a big thumbs up to Mr. Sisk for coming and showing us everything today? Thank you, Doug. We really appreciated this. And is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
I don't think so, except for thank you for the opportunity. The construction industry is in real need right now of good people. And anytime we get the opportunity to help explain what we do and the opportunities that are out there, we want to take advantage of it. So keep in mind, guys, that as you're thinking about careers, construction is a tremendous career to get into. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now we're going to have Phoebe talk to us about how to write a thank you. And I think Jonathan is also on here, another junior leader. If he wants to jump in and have anything to say as well, he can. And so Phoebe is going to take it away from here, and you guys can ask questions and stop her whenever you need. And yeah, so we'll let Phoebe go ahead and start.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is it fixed? Or can you not hear me? You can hear me. Okay. So when you write a thank you letter, you want to start with dear. So who can you thank? You guys know? Anybody you can thank? Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. So you write dear, and then you say thank you, and then you ask, you like thank you for blah blah or whatever gift they gave you, and then you have to say like why you like it and why you're thankful for it. And then you write thank you again, and then you write your name. So then you write love, blah, blah, love. So I would say love Phoebe. So as an example, I would say, dear mom, thank you for my birthday gift. I loved it because I love the color orange. And then I would write love Phoebe. Okay? Is that good? Or am I talking too fast?
I think you're good.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay.
I can hear you. Can
So
everyone
now
else?
I'm going to tell you how to put stamps and return labels. So we select stickers. Okay.
Phoebe, we can't see you.
Okay. So stamps are basically like stickers. I thought they were stickers when I'm younger, but they're not. So they always go on the what? Okay. Well, stamps always go on the right side. So if you're looking down at it, it's on the right side. Return labels are always on the left side. Okay. So return labels are always on the left side, and stamps are always on the right side. And then whoever you want to write it to, you put it in the middle of the envelope. So, yep. Any questions?
Phoebe, I think we just now can see you again. So can you show us the envelope again?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the return label goes on the left. So if you're looking down, it's on the left side. But the stamp always goes on the right. So, yep. And then the person you want to send it to is in the middle. So you write like to mom, and then you give it to her. Or to your friend, and then you put the address right below their name. Okay? Anything else? Nope. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So I had some technical difficulties during Mr. Siska's presentation, but I don't know if Phoebe and Grace mentioned the reason we're telling you guys on how to address an envelope is we would really like to encourage you guys to reach out to what we are calling our superheroes, and this can be any superhero that you can think of that's a local person that has had a job maybe that you are interested in, or maybe that has helped you out. So maybe it's a nurse, or maybe it's a teacher. Mr. Sisk has two roles that he sort of plays. One is his teacher role, and one is his construction role, and he gets to luckily teach construction. So writing to one of your teachers, maybe it is like Phoebe said, to your mom or your dad or aunt, uncle, somebody that helps you out around the house. What we want you guys to do is to write a thank you note to someone that has helped you out during the past couple months. Just send them a note of encouragement, and thank you notes go such a long way. In regular 4-H, once you hit 3rd grade, we really encourage thank you notes, to send thank you notes, especially to our sponsors. So we have people that during fair time support awards for some of our projects. It's really important that our 4-Hers write thank you notes to them, because that shows that they are appreciated, and hopefully they would sponsor again the following year. So minis, you guys can do the same thing. We also encourage our 4-Hers to send thank you notes to their club leaders. And to people that have helped them out. Maybe if you show a pig and the pig is at your neighbor's house and you work with your neighbor all the time to raise that animal, maybe you send a thank you note to them at the end saying, thank you so much for helping me learn about how to raise my animal, and why it's important to feed the pig this, and this. And just really encouraging you guys to reach out to people within the community to say thank you. And I see somebody going to work at it right now, and they have a fancy return address stamp label. I also have one of those that I really enjoy. So awesome job on that. And we are going to be recording this. So again, if you have any questions or need to revisit the stuff, feel free to do so. These will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and available later this week. This was our first ever virtual day camp, and we are really excited about the rest of the week. We do have some awesome speakers coming over the next few days. Grace, would you like to give them a preview and just a reminder of what's coming up tomorrow and maybe our speakers for the rest of the week?
Yeah, sure. So our speakers are going to vary from people from the food industry to farms to firefighters, and then a canine unit. And so then tomorrow we're going to be doing a tour of the fairgrounds, and you're going to be able to see what the fairgrounds is going to look like this year. And we're going to talk to Brittany Dial at the 4-H Cafe. She's one of the managers there, and she's going to talk to you about what this year is going to look like with COVID expectations and how we're going to keep everyone safe at the cafe when serving food. And then tomorrow, the spirit theme, I cannot remember, but I will send out an email reminding everyone what the spirit theme is for tomorrow. And we are so excited to see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see all of you guys come back. Katie, is there anything else do you think that we need?
So we just want to open it up really quick. If you guys have any questions from today, or for mini 4-H in general, we like to end our mini 4-H meetings in general with just a Q&A. If you have any follow-up questions or need any help with your projects, if we can help make that happen, let us know. So just we'll give a minute for any questions. Otherwise, we're going to end early today, and you guys can hopefully go enjoy outside, get a breath of fresh air, and make sure you send your thank you note this week to someone that has helped you out.
And tomorrow, Jersey Day.
Tomorrow's Jersey Day. All right, so sports team day. Maybe if you don't have a jersey, maybe wear your favorite sports team. We're excited to see that. Thank you guys so much for joining and being a part of this. This was awesome to see so many smiling faces today. So thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.